Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, has refuted claims that his nation launched a drone strike on the Kremlin, which Russia claims was an attempt to kill President Vladimir Putin. "We don't criticize Moscow or Putin. On our territory, we fight." On a visit to Finland, he declared, "We are defending our villages and cities." The office of the Russian president reported its defenses shot down 2 drones overnight. When and where it deemed appropriate, it threatened to take action in retaliation. Unconfirmed video making the rounds online early on Wednesday morning shows smoke billowing over the Kremlin, a sizable government complex in the heart of Moscow. 2 individuals can be seen climbing up the dome while a tiny explosion is visible over the Senate building at the scene in a second video. The Kremlin residence of Vladimir Putin has been targeted by Ukraine, according to the Russian presidency, which called it a planned terrorist act and an assassination attempt on the president. President Putin was not there at the time of the purported attack, according to officials, who also claimed that 2 drones that were aiming at the complex had been neutralized using electronic radar assets. However, Ukraine claims that Russia's accusations are just a cover for massive attacks on its territory, and the US claims that it is treating Russia's claims very cautiously. One of the world's leaders who is reportedly the most closely guarded is Mr. Putin. There has been exceptionally strict security at Putin events in Moscow that BBC correspondents have covered. This has included several checks, lengthy car convoys, and the closure of the airport's airspace. The extent to which the president is actually safeguarded will come under scrutiny if what the Kremlin is claiming is accurate. The efficiency of Russian air defenses will also be examined. Anti-aircraft systems have been seen in recent months on Moscow rooftops near important structures. They were put there because the Kremlin is worried that Ukraine or others who support Ukraine would try to launch aerial assaults on important locations. Regardless of what actually transpired on Wednesday morning, the focus now is on Russia's response. A number of officials have already demanded drastic measures. Russian generals have frequently threatened severe retaliation for any attacks on their land. However, it is uncertain whether Russia has the capability to launch meaningful retaliatory attacks or whether this incident will result in any appreciable escalation on the Ukrainian battlefield. The event may be a sign that Russia is preparing a large-scale terrorist provocation in Ukraine, a Ukrainian presidential advisor told the BBC. Hitting Moscow, according to Mikhailo Podolyak, made little sense for Ukraine but would give Russia cover to continue hitting civilian targets. 21 persons were murdered on Wednesday by Russian airstrikes on the Kherson region of southern Ukraine. According to Mr. Zelensky, a railway station and a crossing, a house, a hardware store, a grocery supermarket, and a gas station were all struck by the shelling. According to officials, the victims included consumers at a supermarket and repair workers for an energy firm. Any drones flying over places in Russia, Mr. Podolyak continued, were the result of guerrilla activities of local resistance forces. Without a doubt, there aren't any Ukrainian drones hovering over the Kremlin, but something is happening in the RF, according to Mr. Podolyak.